Hello，你们都可以听见吗
Yeah, I
可
can
以，
hear
可以，
you,
可以。
bro.
好的，我们现在是这样子啊，我们现在就是我们的形式是，我先介绍一下啊，因为周六呢，我们定的主题是发音讨论会，然后和这个其他的程序员相关的话题讨论，就是可以使用中文，也可以使用英文，呃，那如果说你们没有什么其他的想说的话，我也可以给你们几个就是英语的话题，然后你们也可以说英文，你们觉得怎么样？
It's okay with me.
OK，然后我把呃，对，我给几个话题，然后我把几个话题先都打在那个聊天窗口里面啊。嗯，第四个话题，然后再来一个，嗯，就这样，呃，你们如果有发音的问题，那么就可以提发音的问题。If you have any English pronunciation questions, you can ask uh, questions about English pronunciations. Or if you have other programmer related questions, say for example, uh, career programmers, career development, and uh, immigration related questions. You can also ask all of us here. 就是你如果是有英语发音方面的问题，那就直接提出来。如果有这个，比如说程序员职业发展的问题啊，还有比如说我们不是建了个讨论群嘛，就是关于出国工作啊，什么其他相关的，你也可以提出来啊。但如果说没有其他问题，那你想说英语也行。你想说英语的话，我这边提供了5个英语的话题啊。第一个是 home remedies can be just as useful as medicine from a pharmacy，对吧？第二个是 how do you think technology such as smartphones and social media has changed the way we interact with the people？第三个是 should the younger generation care for the old generation？What are the benefits for either generation？第四个是 the impact of social media on interpersonal relationships。第五个呢是 the importance of financial literacy。所以你们把你们的麦都打开吧，打开看一下都有什么问题。Hello, who would like to go first？佳你好，
Hi, hello.
Yeah. So, do you have any questions?
I'm
Oh,
new here, so I don't quite know how the procedure or process. I don't know. So what are we going to talk about?
是这样的，我用中文先解释了，因为这个，我们周一到周五是专门的口语练习，英语口语练习，然后周六呢，我定的主题是发音讨论会及其他程序员相关的话题讨论，呃，但是呢，如果说呃，就如果你有英语发音的问题呢，你可以提我们讨论英语发音的问题，对，或者英语学习的问题。如果没有这些方面的问题，然后也没有说程序员相关的这些问题的话，那么我也提供了5个，就是话题啊。我刚才不是给你们读了一遍吗？就是在那个聊天窗口里面，你们应该能看到啊。这5个话题，你随便选一个，你可以用英语来表达，也可以。所以现在是选择权交给你了。
Sorry, I'm new here, so I couldn't see the the chat the 5 topic. I can't see it. So
就在那个最下面的，呃，你是用的电脑版还是手机版的？
Wait a minute. Idea. Idea. No, idea.
I'm on the phone. I'm on the phone. So there's it's empty. So I don't know the topics.
我重新把这几个话题重新拷贝发一下。
Okay, thank you.
那你那边能看到聊天窗口吗？
Yeah, yeah.
啊，那你可能是你新进来的，看不到历史记录是吧？5 topics. You can choose
Oh,
one of these 5.
I think this these topics are too difficult for me to talk about. So um
Um, well, hello there, Jia. It is so nice to see you. And actually, I got a few questions about the pronunciation. Well, would you mind to, discuss about this? I mean, I made some mistakes about pronunciation, like idea, 主意或者意见. And before that, I pronounced it wrong in a wrong way, like idea. But I think we should pronounce like idea. Is that right, Sean?
I think so.
我是读的是 idea，然后
Idea.
对 idea。Anybody
Idea.
else have any opinions on this?
Yeah.
Okay, do you have any other thoughts on this? Or how do you pronounce this word?
Well, I will pronounce like idea. I don't
Idea.
know. Because one of my teachers correct me like this before. Um, so like I got a good idea for this, and I think people should stop saying like idea. Maybe you can try to pronounce this word. Even your mic is off.
Yeah, I
Here's
usually
one.
pronounce it as idea, but I'll try to ask our English teacher next week and to see if she has a different pronunciation for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, our English teacher for our daily spoken English practice event is from United States, and English is her native language. So I think
sorry,
I think
I
he's
don't
talking
really
about.
sorry, I don't really I don't quite understand the question. Is it idea? Idea. idea. So
idea.
I think he's talking about the common mistakes that
it's
people tend
true.
to make. Is when we pronounce the word idea, we tend to plus the R sound at the end of the word, so it becomes idea.
Okay.
So if you plus the R sound at the end of the word, it's probably not correct.
But there's no R in this word, so
Yeah.
why R sound? I don't know.
I was just stating the guy he said.
Yeah.
I think that's the mistake he tend to say.
Okay.
That is my personal share. You know, in my journey of learning this language, the R problem, like famous, and I used to pronounce this word famous like famous. You know, famous or famous. You know, there is a little difference between those two pronunciation. 著名的 famous.
Famous.
Right?
Famous.
Hey, can you please
Famous.
do us a favor and type your pronunciation questions into the chat?
Sure. No problem.
Famous. To me, it's famous. Yeah.
Famous.
It's a famous place. Mm. World and word. The World War II, the word. So it's about the L sound in the middle. The first one is world, and the second one is word.
Yeah, that's right.
I think he mentioned another word before. It's because, but some people tend to add the not existing R sound as well. So it becomes because, like idea at the end of the word. All of the world, all over the world, all of the world.
All over the world.
Well, I think that is a little bit of, you know, hard to pronounce in the right way. All over the world. You know, I cannot pronounce this, so I use all across the world, but I cannot do it like all over the world.
Can I please?
The V sound?
When you put the over and the world into one saying.
Over the world, all over the world.
All over the world.
All over the world.
Right?
So
yeah, that's right.
我可以用中文说吗？不好意思，我不知道用英文怎么解释。就是你说 all over the world 这个时候，你发完 all 这个音，你的舌尖是上抬的，所以你在发 over 的时候，因为那个舌尖是上抬的，它发下来的时候，它会有那个带出来一点点 L 的这个音，所以 all over the world 会有一点像 all over the world。你说你的困难是在哪里？是那个 L sound 还是 V over the world？是哪里？你说
I don't know. I just to share this specific example.
Can you try to pronounce these words?
All over the world. All over the world. I just tried my best. I just tried my best.
Over the world. So it's probably the connection between the L sound and R sound.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Does anybody else have some opinion about this?
对，你们有任何发音问题可以提出来，然后我们回答不了或者说的不太准确的地方呢，因为我们不是周一到周五每天都有，来自美国的一个老师给我带领我们练英语的嘛，所以我也可以问问他嘛。Yeah, you can speak Chinese, but uh, English is strongly encouraged here.
Okay. So actually, I have an example which I find particularly difficult for me. It's sunny at the beach today. So when I try to pronounce beach today, try to connect the ch sound plus the to sound, I found it's hard for my mouth to to keep the movement. I will tap it out. Sunny at the beach today. So maybe you guys can help me about connecting the ch plus to sound. Beach today. 我可以用中文说吗？不好意思。
可以，可以，可以。
就是 It's sunny at the beach today。我来不及，就是我发了 beach 的时候，如果我把这个的音强调出来，我就来不及发后面的 today。所以说 It's sunny at the beach today。有时候经常会粘在一起，如果我断开来就会容易 It's sunny at the beach today， 但是会很奇怪，我不知道这个怎么处理，我自己学的时候我绕不过去。好，他说 th sound think 正语。Can you provide us some examples about the th sound?
Yeah, how to pronounce th sound here?
th sound，你有能列一个单词吗？比如说
对
，thank you，though，
Though,
though although
though, although,
就是
think,
think
think and think.
more than
Think
pattern.
you need to like your tongue need to touch your like the up teeth. I don't know how to describe it. Yeah. And just put it over and you can make it think, sink, sink, and think.
Think. Well,
Think.
Think.
well,
The
could
first
you
one is think. First, the second one is sink. So
think?
it's totally different.
Okay, so the boat is going to sink, right?
The boat is going to sink. So S sound.
Did I
Yes.
pronounce that sink right?
你发的接近 n 那个音是就是 sink 就是 sink， 它后面是跟 sing 一样，是那个这个音，你发的比较接近 n 那个音，就是 sink， 一个是 sink， 一个是 sink， 就是后鼻音了，后鼻音跟前鼻音普通话里，我觉得是啊，你问一下他们怎么说。
Wow, that is a little hard for me. I think the boat is going to sink. How do you pronounce this sentence?
I think the boat is going to sink. 差不多，我觉得就算这样发，外国人应该也听得懂。你是说船要沉了嘛，对不对？
Yeah.
我想说的是，那个人讲的 th sound， 就是 th 有两种方法去发它，一个是把你的舌头放在两个牙齿中间 think， 就是咬舌，还有一种是怎么说？你看 put the tongue， 怎么说？你可以把你的舌尖去抵住你上面的上牙齿，去轻轻触碰它，也能造成那个 th 的那个阻滞感。就有的时候有很多个 th 在一连串东西里边，你可能来不及把舌头伸在两个牙齿中间，其实你舔一下你的上牙背也可以，大概是这个意思。 抵到上颚啊，不一定要到
Okay,
上颚，你抵一下上牙或者到上牙背都可以。我是这么认为的啊，我是这么认为的，但是不一定是标准答案。
That is a really good question. I think, right? I think something like that. I think you are really good at this. I think and th feels like I think. I really don't know. I just did it right or wrong.
Think, 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 think。我不知道，我后面那种我也发错了，就是 n 和那个 n， 我经常就是发错，一个是前鼻音，一个是后鼻音，但是我讲普通话就不太分后鼻音，所以我也不知道我发的对不对。它上面还说的是 modern 和 pattern， 他想说的是那个吧，应该是 flap D， 就是 pattern 的话是 flap D， 前面是 modern。我不知道你们看到教材怎么说，就是有一些人会说这个东西叫浊化，就是清辅音变浊辅音。我觉得就 modern 和 pattern， 它听起来都有一点像 D 这个音，他们叫 flap D，flap T， 但是实际上 pattern 听起来像 D， 是因为它前面是 a， 它前面是元音，元音的时候你已经震动了你的声带了，所以就算你元音之后发清辅音 T， 也会比较接近 D。就是它单独拿出来的时候，清辅音是声带不振动，浊辅音是声带振动。但是当它前面都有元音的时候，它们听起来会有点接近。这个是我的想法。但是抱歉，我只能用中文说，我的英文不够好。
Yeah, so is pattern 模式吗？ or pattern?
Pattern
I don't know how to pronounce this in the original way.
pattern 就是我们都发，如果都发 t， 故意发 pattern 是可以的。
Pattern,
有一些人会发 pattern， 就对他们来说这样
yeah.
更便利。
Yeah, it feels like 浊化 we 浊化 T to D, something like that. I think like a little bit of, and we 浊化 like a little bit of. I don't know. Yeah, some of my teachers and they said never do that. It feels like you are a Indian people. They always you know the they use the instead of the.
那我就不太知道了。就是我记得浊化是没有这个概念的，但是用浊化这个词很方便我们中国人去理解这个现象。其实它没有浊化，它还是清辅音 t， 只是因为它跟在 pattern， 它跟在 a 这个元音后面，所以你前面的声带振动会被这个惯性带过去，大概是这个意思。它后面说什么 water bottle bottle water pattern。Water writer reporter 都是那个 T。
Writer reporter
你可以发 water writer reporter， 可以这样发，也可以发 water writer reporter， 就是它有点像你不故意发 D， 实际上你用牙齿轻轻的去碰上牙齿，然后你碰得快的时候，它就接近像 D 的感觉，但是应该是那样。如果区分不了的话，我个人认为啊，不是特别影响沟通。我这样跟老外讲的时候，他们好像能懂。
But I think there is solution that you can use and pronounce water in the British English. It's like water and butter. I prefer British English to American English.
如果这样的话就比较好区分了，对。我经常混着说， 我是就讲中式英语的嘛，然后我有时候为了那个 can 和 can't 好区分，我把带 t 的那个直接发成 can't，然后他们听的时候会顿一顿，然后他们会反应过来，哦，我讲那个 can't 我讲的是英式的，前面讲的是美式的，然后加中式的，就还是不影响他们听懂我们。可能我们自己发音的发音便利性是最优先的，可以被他们听出来是哪个单词，然后你自己发的是习惯的就好了。
Oh, I wonder the topic of the meeting. I don't know. It's just about the pronunciation.
There's a several topics you can talk about actually. Sean already.
Pronunciation is one of the topics.
One
So
of
you
the
can
topics.
you can talk about others things, and I think Sean just put this in the comment bars. You can pick one.
我们的话题是这样子的，我重新说一下，因为我们周一到周五晚上每天晚上都有英语口语练习嘛，然后那时候都是说英语的嘛。周六晚上呢，因为今天也周六嘛，周六晚上主要是发音讨论会，还有这个其他程序员相关的话题，如果大家有的话也可以提啊。因为是什么，参加的人员基本上都是程序员嘛，我觉得这些话题都可以讨论嘛。然后呢，如果说你等我说完，如果说你没有这些话题，也没有这些问题的话，你也想说英语的话，那么我给大家提供的这5个话题啊，在聊天窗口里面你们可以看到啊，你随便找一个话题，然后可以用英语来说也没问题。
Home remedies can be just as useful as medicine from a pharmacy. How do you think technology such as smartphones and social media has changed the way we interact with people? 不知道。
Interact with people.
So anyone? Okay, Lucas, go ahead.
就我想问一下，就是可能未来前端的趋势在哪一块？就有见解了吗？
Wow.
So, anybody here who is a front-end developer?
But first of all, I just wonder how to, translate this sentence, 前端的趋势什么 into English. How to say that in English.
The future trend for
the
future trend.
Yeah, for the front-end development, right?
Like what is the future trend of the front-end career or front-end job position?
Yeah, front-end development.
Trends in front-end development.
Yeah, trends. We can use that word trends. And I guess could we use the long pass? I learned from somewhere this new word, long pass. Wait a second, I will type that down in the comment bar. I learned this word from TED Talking, long pass.
Long pass.
It can be translated as 个人的前景，个人的发展路径 something like that. I don't know if we can use this word in this question.
Let me try to look it up in a dictionary.
Yes.
Long path.
Let's ask
Long
ChatGPT.
So how do you think of the word prospect?
Prospect.
Yeah, prospect, the future prospect, the prospect of the front-end development.
It is like another word like the insight. What is your insight of this problem, right? Your word again, perspective, right?
No, not perspective. That's prospect. Prospect.
Prospect.
Prospect. The prospects
是啥意思啊？
for peace. The possibility that something will happen.
Yeah, I guess,
Prospect.
I mean, just do your homework and look it up in the dictionary. That will help you memorize the word.
We had
对
to face the prospect that he
对，你
might
可以自己
lose.
查一下字典，然后呢，这有助于你这个加深一下记忆。
Well, Sean, actually, people can just, look up things in the dictionary. But anyway, I learned from another teachers who is really good at, speaking this language, and he told me that you can also teach by learning by teaching. Like you can totally explain this word in English to another guy.
Oh.
By that you can learn how to, like, you are the dictionary. You can give him the definition of this word.
Yeah,
You just say
yeah,
that in
just
another way.
I totally understand what you mean. But the way I explain the word prospect to some of you guys, it does only help me to reinforce my memory of this word, right?
Wow, you need to think about, yeah, you need to.
这你不是
also
在
need to
说是
do-
教别人是最好的学习方式吗？那这么说的话，不应该是我来说吧？应该是你们谁想学，然后你们来解释一下这个问题呢？
Yeah,
It's a good idea.
yeah, that is a really good point.
Okay.
I have a question. Is that how do you learn a word or memorize a word? I'm a student in senior high school, so our teacher always teaches words, and so I think his way is not pretty good, and so I always recite words by myself. So I want to know if there is a way to memorize a word well.
One of the theories said if you have seen the word for more than 7 times in the reading, then you probably memorize it.
And
Yeah.
I think you need to use that word when you talk with people. Like I just learned this word long past in one TED talking, and I just share this word with you guys. So that is the way how I memorize this word. Yeah, the long past. Maybe that is 2 words. Yeah. See, I just got correction by other people.
Wow.
I just got corrected by other people. I think you need definitely try to use the word that you just try to remember. Use that words in your conversation, and someone maybe will help you to correct the way you use it.
I just watched a video about memorizing a word. In the video, the guy said if you want to memorize a word, you should you just do more reading. Just read a storybook or a novel, and it will help you to learn a word well. It's just to repeat it over and over again. So this is a good idea. But in school, I don't have much time, so it's quite difficult to me.
I'm sorry. I will slow down. Well, I think the person, this the thing, the method that you shared with us is totally useful. But you have to memorize. You have to take notes, right? You have to use a pen and a paper to write the words, and you have to to Google some sentence that that consist this word. So that is really useful, but I still think that if you can use this word in your daily life, that will be much more helpful, because language is just a tool to help people to communicate to talk with people.
We don't have as much in this. That's a good idea, but our teacher is always focused
Focus.
On the
Focus.
paper education.
I
The
think
education
you
on
would
paper.
say focus, not focus. Focus, right, Dan?
Yeah, focus.
Yeah.
Focus on paper, not to speaking, not hearing. You know, the exam cancel the hearing exam. So you know, my hearing level just decreased much, and I don't know how to express it. My English is poor.
Well, I think that is two different problems, two different questions. Like you have to handle the examination in your university, in your college. But on the other hand, I think if you go to another country, the first thing you need to handle is the speaking and the listening. You have to, you know what I'm saying? Like it's the problem of handle the examination or using this language in your real life. It's a different problem.
Yes, I think you know, now the English in the not only in the junior high school or but also the senior high school, the English is not very practical. It just do more papers and do more exercises. They don't focus on speaking or hearing. So I always worried about my hearing and my speaking ability. Because
Well,
I have to study.
I think that is the reason why we are here, right?
Yeah. You're right. You're right.
I mean, I'm a worker now. I'm a programmer. I really don't have any situation or scenario to use this language, but I still try to talk with you guys. You know, I'm pretty talkative and approachable. So I think that is the reality, bro. You have to handle that. It's not your problem. It's the problem of the whole educational system, I think.
Yeah. Yes, that's true. That's true. That's true. Well,
yeah, I think that is the reason why we are here. Like you pronounce focus like focus, right? So Dan and I try to correct that. So you get improved, and I show you another word like long pass, and show me another word like the perspective. You know, the possibility word. So we can always learn by
No, not
communication.
perspective, prospect.
Prospect.
Yeah, prospect.
Prospect, right? Prospect. Okay.
and there's other question that I wonder, the difference between IELTS and the TOEFL is that I didn't know the exact difference between them.
Well, that is really a good question. That is the two main English examination all across the world. I have taken the IELTS test last year, but I have never taken the TOEFL. How about Dan? Have you ever taken this TOEFL or TOEFL? I don't know how to pronounce this TOEFL in
TOEFL.
English.
No,
TOEFL.
really. No, really. I'm
TOEFL.
sorry, I haven't taken that exam before.
Okay.
Yeah.
TOEFL, right?
Yeah, TOEFL.
应该是，不好意思。
It's all right, bro.
不好意思，我又想打一个岔，可不可以允许我用中文讲？那个，因为我的英文不好。那个，我想说前面他说的那个问题就是怎么记单词，我英语能力不足以表达。我想说的是，取决于你想记什么词。就是如果是一些具象的词，比如苹果，你想的时候你不会只记到这个单词的拼写，你会记到它的形状、它的味道、它的触觉。但是有一些不那么具象的词， 这个时候就要看词和词之间的关联性，就是你把它放在真实的句子里或者你的文章里边去理解。如果你的课程要求你短期背诵大量的不怎么相关的词，你可以尝试把你的那个 word list 放到 ChatGPT 里边，让 GPT 帮你用这些词写一个小故事，加深印象。这是我想说的，谢谢。
I don't know how to use ChatGPT. It seems that I must have a VPN. Well,
Not
in
really.
China,
There's some mirror websites. So some people did the mirror websites for
mirror
ChatGPT.
website.
Yeah. So you don't have to use the VPN to get access to OpenAI's.
Oh, perhaps that's a
You
good
can
idea.
also
For
use
example, this one,
VPN.
Chat1 AI, chatos.com.
Well, thank you. And I found a new way to learn English.
Yeah, same here. Thank you, Zhengyu. Thank you so much.
I'm so grateful to meet you here.
So anybody would like to share their thoughts on one of our topics? 有没有人想讨论这5个话题的？Yeah.
How do you think of technology like smartphone and social media have changed the way we interact with people? Well, I have some ideas about the question 3. Should the younger generation care for the older generation? I think it depends on whether the older generation cared for his child or his or her children in the early year. If he is not very responsible, I think it's not necessary. Just it depends on whether the older generation is responsible and caring. It is it himself. Well, I think in the traditional in Chinese tradition, the younger generation should care for the older generation because it's their responsibility. But in some Western countries, they may have different opinions on this question.
Giving the sentence that you just said or you share, I think you might made a mistake in grammar. I think we should use should take care, not should care, right? Is care a verb? I don't know, Sean. We should take care or we should care.
Yeah, care
Is care a
and
verb?
take care. Yeah.
Yeah.
Care for,
care for,
take care of.
Yeah, take care of. Yes.
Yeah, I think the question should be should the young generation take care for the older generation? I think there
Yeah,
should be fine.
okay.
Careful should be fine.
okay, yeah.
So anybody would like to go next?
which one is next?
Yeah, since you guys, most of you guys are just too quiet in our online meeting.
Silent.
Yeah, I think what Sean is trying to say is no, Sean, Soup, right? Your name is Soup, right? And I think
Yes.
what the Soup's trying to say is that this question depends on the attitude of the grandpa, the grandpa generation, the older generation. I mean, if they treat me in a decent way and they really they were really taking care of myself when we were really young, I think the young generation should take care of them, like when we grow up, right?
Yes. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with you. You know, yeah, in China, we really, give a lot of respective and we're really respective for our older generation, and we tend to take care of our grandpa and grandma. But I don't think the people who live in another country will do that like the Chinese people, like the Chinese.
It depends on themselves.
Yeah, I think it depends on the different culture or the different regions, I guess.
Yes.
Mm.
It depends on the Chinese personality.
Chinese personality.
I think the population aging is the common issue for most of the countries around the world. Of course, I want somebody to take care of me when I'm getting old. I mean, one day I will be my parents' age, lonely, useless. The problem is, I think most of us will definitely take care of our parents and grandparents. But for those people who are in the government, who are on authority, they decide how to divide those resources, and they kind of wasted some of the money and resources, and they said, sure, we believe in the younger generation's wisdom, 相信后人的智慧. It's kind of unfair. So if you ask me what are the benefits for either generation, I would say it really depends on the situation. It really depends on how this current generation treat us, how they treat the young people. That would change the whole idea, I suppose. I'm sorry.
Well, I agree with you.
We should take care of our parents and grandparents, but we probably shouldn't take care of somebody who made the chaos.
Wow, Dan.
Yeah.
That is pretty deep. You mean some old folks and they waste a lot of money, and we should never we should take care of them, the old bastard. I don't know.
We should take care of them, but not on an equal way.
Oh,
otherwise
yeah.
it's unfair. They're wasting money and they're wasting resources, and the corruption, for example. Still, those younger generations, we have to work hard and pay for their duty. Yeah, to me, that's a bit unfair.
So
Yes. Yeah.
You continue, Soup.
Well, and for example, if your daddy beat you, and when you are very young and beat you, mom, and he didn't do the contributions to your family, and he's a alcoholic, well, when he get old, I don't think we should take care of him, because he didn't give you much love and care. And we should take care the older generation in the equal way. But he didn't. But if the older generation don't give the younger generation enough love and care, I think there's nothing we could. I think, well,
I mean, even my parents, even my dad beat me at my younger age, I would still take care of them because my parents raised me. But for those old generations outside of my family, I probably have different ideas. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. And Josh said, I suggest that the host can prepare some articles or scripts for everyone to read out so that we can talk about the contents and the pronunciation details. Sean, what do you think about that?
Here's some articles or scripts for everyone to read out so that we can talk about the contents and pronunciation details.
Well, I think we can switch topic. We can change a topic. Well,
maybe someone wants to continue this topic, but they are too shy to open the mic. I think you are making a really interesting point about this topic. Like if our parents, they were really evil and bad, and how should we treat them back? It's really difficult questions to to think. It feels like how will you define the evil of your older generation, or how bad to define that? Maybe my parents, they were not there when I was really young, and someone's parents might beat them up when they were young. But how do you define how bad he or she is, and should we taking care of themselves? So it's a definition of how bad they are.
Yep.
I want to share my opinion on this topic because I think the question is not really a question. Because why we put out this question? Because we think something is wrong, is not naturally, right? Because some parents treat badly to their children and they ask their children to feed them back. It's not fair. Because we feel unhappy with this behavior. So what is this question actually? It's all about culture. We always think that West is more freedom and their kids don't seem to have to feed their parents. And in the East and East Asian, we have to do this because we have sort of a culture. Everybody in this culture think this behavior is moral or something like that. So when everything become very simple, back to the nature, why we have to feed our parents? Because there is a problem that some old people is very 可怜怎么说
poor.
They don't it is very poor. They don't have some ability to feed their own. So we can just see this happen. So we give some help. We give them some money or some sort of support. Yes. It is because this, so we have to feed our parents. Yeah, that's all.
Sorry, I was confused by this question. The question is ask, should the younger generation care for the older generation? It's not ask, if the child take the responsibility for taking care of the grandpa or parents.
So it's talking, you mean that when you say the older generation, you mean somebody outside of a family. Is that correct? I'm sorry?
Who you ask for? Do you ask me?
不知道上一个说话的是谁。I think the idea he was trying to point out is for the topic number 3, should the younger generation take care for the older generation? He means the older generation means the elderlies outside of our family. It's not talking about whether we should take care of our parents or grandparents. Am I correct?
It's take care of or care for. 是需要照顾还是需要在意啊？
是这样的啊，Sorry about my explanation in Chinese 如果你们有这个发音方面的问题，你们可以提啊。如果有其他的这个程序员相关的其他话题也可以提。如果没有的话，没有你也不知道说什么，那么这5个话题就是我们给你提供的，让你可以用英语来说的啊，你可以用英语来表达，是这样子的，对吧？So do you guys have any other questions related to English pronunciations?
Yeah. Can I make a comment?
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. I am a postgraduate student in Beijing. Yeah, and yeah. I mean, lately I have been like experienced an IELTS test, and I got 5.5 in speaking part. So I wonder, is there anyone in this meeting have encountered this kind of situation in IELTS?
Anybody here has already taken the IELTS test?
Oh, yeah, exactly.
I mean, everybody else?
Yeah, exactly. I just wonder, anyone have encountered this kind of embarrassment, I guess?
Yeah, actually, we have a specific. Can I just mention that he got 7
points in IELTS. Wow.
Yeah, well, I think band 7 in speaking part is quite a good score, I guess, right? So I think I can totally like move the conversation on, but you know the instructor just gave me 5.5. Yeah, I was so amazed and disappointed, and though I guess I still have to take another one, I guess. So I wonder anyone who like have take the IS and give me some suggestions to like you know, every time I make a conversation, I try to say something in English, you know, my brain just like a translation. All I need to do is to do a translation in my mind. So I can't like transform my Chinese mind to English mind. Hello.
We have a specific group. I mean, we have a group specifically for the IELTS. I'm not sure if you're in that group. Yeah.
No,
If not, you can talk to me privately on WeChat, and I'll invite you to join that group, and you can then talk to the group members in that group later.
Yeah, I think it's a wonderful way for me to like improve myself. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I can point out one problem of yours, oral English. You say some words in a strange tone. You say, for example, translation. You will say translation, that feel very weird. Usually we'll just say translation.
Translation, you mean?
You say translation, and not only this word, for other words, you also say it in the same way. Probably you didn't notice that.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe I should like control my tune, or like something like that. You mean?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I was wondering whether Kai can share his experience of taking the IELTS exam, because he got 7 points in speaking part, but he just left. So
I'm so sorry about that. I was offline. I don't know why. But anyway, I think I was really lucky. I had done a lot of preparation for the IELTS test, and I think you should try shadow reading, Liu Bai. Maybe it will help you.
Shadow reading. When I browsing like 小红书 and Weibo, and they say that shadow reading is just a waste of time, but still a lot of people on the internet said shadow reading is good for your listening and even your speaking. I do think I do think the shadow reading can take a lot of time, so I wonder whether it's an efficient way for me. Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you guys. What is shadow reading?
Shadow reading is something like you play the audio clip which made by the native speaker, and you speak at the same time. Try to mimic other people's talking.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, exactly. A shadow reading is, it's 影子跟读 in Chinese.
Well, how long have you taken this practice shadow reading since, Liu Bai?
Actually I guess I have taken the shadow reading process for like half a week, I guess. So maybe it's a long way for me to go, I guess. I'm not very satisfied with my speaking part, because I got overall band like 7 in IELTS.
The speaking part, yeah.
Yeah, but the speaking part is 5.5. I was so like unlucky, I would say.
Well, actually, the first time that I took this IELTS test, I got the 5.5 in speaking part 2, and after about 4 months or 5 months later, I took my second and third examination, the IELTS test. Yeah, I got 7 score, and I don't know. It depends on a lot of things. Like if the examiner is really happy on that day, you might get a higher score.
Yeah, exactly. I'm 100% agree. So I can totally understand you, because I do think that your speaking part score it's a combination, right? It's a
combination.
It's a combination.
Yeah. Well, I feel like that shadow reading is not the only way that you can improve your speaking part, but I think it is one of the ways that will help you. You need to prepare for the topics, especially the part 2.
And part
part
2.
3, yeah. And you should be confident. Like when you talk with the examiner, you don't have to be too nervous. Like they are just normal people, normal guys. They are not programmer. You are not take part in a job interview, and he is not that so scary. So I don't know. I think you should just calm down and chill, and maybe drink a beer before you take part in before you know go to the job interview or go to the IELTS test. Yeah, I was terrified the first time I took part in this IELTS test, and it just killed me. I don't know. I can't understand the examiner fully, and I don't know.
I feel that it's very nice of you, Kai, and
yeah,
I think I should like take your advice. I should take your suggestions because I do think the shadowing can like improve my understanding of this kind of language, because when I would like keeping shadowing, I can totally understand what I should pronounce this kind of sentence or some like a very special or specific vocabulary, something like that, I guess, right?
I think you are really fluency, and I think you can. I suppose you can handle every communication conversations in the real life. I don't know why the examiner give you 5.5.
Yeah. I do think that when I just open this kind of like a video deliver, I guess, video delivered examination. I think the instructor I encountered is not very polite, so, and he I don't know how to like try describe this kind of feeling. I just feel that I was like sorry, I want to like make a comment in Chinese. 就是我感觉到我跟他对话的时候，我明显感觉到他对我就是有一种翻白眼的感觉，他持续对我翻白眼。就是我跟我面试的是一个白男，是一个年纪比较大的，就是我持续感觉到他已经，我刚打开视频的时候，他就已经非常不耐烦了。
Oh my god!
So I feel terrible, I'm
when I got you, bro. Yeah, that is so not so cool for the examiner. Yeah.
Yeah. So when I know my result, I like immediately like inquire of these results. I mean, I suggest that I should, everyone near, I would say all of my friends who have encountered this kind of situation suggest me that I should recheck my speaking parts score. So I also took their advice. Yeah.
I don't know. I think you just get bad lucks. I feel like you just need to forget about this your IELTS test, and try to work harder, and talk to a lot of people, and trying to be nice. I think one thing that I learned from this language, especially the English, the other culture, is that being nice and being
confident
is really important. Yeah. I feel that I really feel in that way. I mean, I got help from a lot of teachers a lot of lecturers in the universities, and I really don't know them in real life, and I just met them in online, and I just trying to be nice and follow their suggestions, and they told me I should try the shadow reading. I should take notes, and stop making those grammar mistakes.
Sorry, I want to make a comment. You mean you mentioned that make notes, right? When you shadowing. So in which way you make notes?
No. When you shadow reading, you do nothing about. You don't have to take the notes. I mean, besides the shadow reading, you need to take notes to enrich your vocabulary resources. Like you need to enrich your terms, vocabularies, the words. But when you try this shadow reading, you just need to really pay attention to the voice of the native speaker, and you can delay for 2 seconds when you hear the voice of the native speakers in that video clip, and after about 2 minutes or 3 minutes, 2 seconds or 3 seconds, you just follow follow those sentences. I think that might be helpful.
Okay, I will follow your advice, I guess. Another thing I want to mention was that I guess I got 8.5 in my speaking part, so I guess I can say that I can totally understand what other foreigners or other people said in English, I guess, right? So you mean the shadowing can help me how to formulate full sentences and how to pronounce every single word or pronounce the vocabularies together, right?
Actually, I didn't major in English when I was in the university, so I don't know how this method can help people to be good at speaking, but I know it helps. I mean, some of people that I met online, they told me it is useful. You just need to use this way to practice. And you mentioned that you checked some comments on the Xiaohongshu and they said shadow reading is not helpful, right? Maybe they're right. Maybe they have different ways to improve their speaking, but I don't know. So I think for most people it might be helpful because I just had a conversation with a professor who worked in the university, and he had a lot of postgraduate students, who also majored in the English. So he told me that shadow reading is really useful for me, the people like me, who is not really good at speaking.
I think it maybe can. I think maybe it can make sense for me as well, I guess, because I'm not very good at speaking too, and I wonder you, because you have mentioned that you major in English, right?
No, I don't major in English. I also major in CS. I'm a software engineer.
Computer science, right?
Yeah, of course, bro. That is the reason why we are here.
Okay, I got it, and yeah.
Yeah, I think I feel like that you are really, you are really good at communication, because although you get a 5.5 in your IELTS test, but you still take the courage to open your mic. That is really impressive. I mean that is the most important part if you want to learn this language, I guess. I think Sean might agree with me. I open the mic and talk. I gotta practice, bro. I don't know other people's, but I think I might be annoying. I could say that maybe 90% in this Tengxun meeting will think that I'm not I take too much time, but I don't care, bro. It's learning. Yeah, you got to stop being shy and open the mic.
Yeah, I think you mentioned the context.
Confident, yeah, it's more than confident.
You mentioned annoying. I think this kind of vocabulary should be in boundary. In Chinese, in boundary, I guess.
I don't know, bro. I don't think people will like you. I don't think that everyone will like you, but it doesn't matter. So the reason why I'm here is just to keep practicing, and same as you, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
So
And
I think people will dislike you and diss you all the time, like your IELTS examiner, but it doesn't matter. You know, you are nobody in their life and they are nobody in your life. So you just need to open the mic and talk.
you know, and we should see the time, and we should grasp the chance, right?
Yeah, like one rap song by Eminem, you know, seize the moment, SEIZE, seize the moment and give the shot. I don't know if anyone is a big hip hop fan. I don't know if anyone is a fan of hip hop culture, but I think that is really important. You know, hip hop and rap is all about being confident, being a hustler.
Yeah,
That influenced a lot.
Yeah, I would say that I'm not very into hip hop, but you know, I have heard a lot of songs from anime, right? Anime.
Yeah. I feel that they have the same motivation things behind those articles, behind those arts. Yeah.
Yeah. I have another question. So sorry. I think I'm like some troublesome, right? And I wonder,
no, really.
I wonder that I guess you got I noticed that you got 7 in IELTS. So I wonder when you speak English whether your mind is still have a translation.
No, I don't think so. I don't think I have time to translate one language into another language when I'm talk with people. Like, but I will try to correct myself. I tried, you know, during this, you know, lovely night, I tried to correct every single sentence. I repeat and I repeat. I think that might be helpful. I don't know, Dan. What do you think about this? You know, I try to correct every mistake that I made.
But you know, I can't even find any mistakes that you made when I try to like communicate with you.
What do you think, Dan? Like, I try to you know, fix up the mistake that I made.
So you were saying you were trying to monitor yourself when you're speaking. Is that correct?
Yes. Yeah, I try to do that.
From my perspective, I think it's probably not necessary for us to self-correct during the time we were speaking, because if we're doing so, it would probably result in reduced fluency. So we can record our voice and listen it again afterwards, and at that time we correct ourselves. Yeah, that's probably the one way of my learning. And as Liu Bai said, the situation Liu Bai has described before sounds like a discrimination to me. It's like you got an unfair trade from the IELTS examiner. So
exactly.
So I think while you are trying other like shadowing or other ways to improve your English, you can probably attend for another IELTS test. For example, if you applied for another IELTS test in 2 months, and you will meet a different speaking examiner. So so you will probably get a better result. That's just my opinion.
Yes,
and I think most of us, I think all of us here has no problem understanding each other's talking. So but the problem to me, the difficulty I faced when I'm speaking is I have a very limited vocabulary. So when I'm trying to describe something in English, for example, if I'm trying to describe the way I pronounce words, I would get stuck here and there because of the vocabulary problems. And I get anxious, I feel anxious, which result in reduced fluency. So yeah, I don't know how to improve that situation. And Kai said he has no translation process during his speaking, but I did. I still using something like Chinese translate to English activities exist in my my thinking, in my mind. So that's why I get stuck very often. And that which explains why Kai has a very good English fluency, I think.
I don't know, maybe I just met a really good, nice examiner, it is a Christmas night. It's a Christmas holiday when I took part in my third examination of IELTS. Maybe he just, he was really happy when I took in those IELTS tests, and I was lucky enough.
Yeah, I think maybe I will take my second test in IELTS. I guess maybe last month, I guess, because I'm not applying for the 24/4 PhD, I guess, right? So I still have time to like prepare for my IELTS. Yeah.
Oh my God, I think
PhD student.
I'll continue, Bill.
Okay. Nearby, according to the conversation you have showed, the conversation that you and Kai show us, I think your, let me think about for a while. I think your vocabulary should be fine, and your fluency later is also fine. So basically, I think if you practice more, practice like speaking with some, like with some guy like Kai, for every day for like a half hour, and then you do it, you practice for like 2 or 3 weeks, or even or longer, you should be fine,
I must tell you all the truth, because I have to admit that, because I have done this, I would say, because I have a partner who I have a speaking partner, I would say, who got maybe like 6.5 in speaking part, and I have been like practicing with him for a month every day, and which will last for an hour. And also, during this kind of process, I also like chatted with another foreign teachers in Cambly, which is a very famous platform, and also we can say it's a very popular application, right? So I think before my practicing, I would say the fluency of my speaking parts is quite terrible, and I'm and I will like give my
I suppose you definitely had made a big progress, talking with your friends in real life and talking to native speaker. But I suppose that you can talk with people online. You can talk with different people, like there are 30 people in this room, and people have different thoughts, and you will not meet me again tomorrow, maybe, and you will not meet Dan or Bill tomorrow, but you can talk with other people. Like it's
okay.
It is much fun than you just talk to another guy, like you talk with them for 1 month. That is really boring, no offense, but I will not handle that. I will never talk to another guy for 1 month, man. that is
that's crazy.
What kind of sense you talk? What kind of topic you guys practice when you talk? That is quite impressive in another way.
It's just all about the speaking parts topic. Especially we mainly focus on the part 2 topics. Part 2 topics.
I know that. I had done that before with another guy online, and we talked about, we tried those part 2 topics for about 2 weeks, and I don't know, it might be helpful.
Yeah, maybe I guess I should follow you and try to talk to a lot of people, because I think maybe
Trust
it's
me,
interesting.
bro.
Yeah, it's
Trust me, bro.
interesting.
There are so many nice people online, you know, and
Yeah,
you just need to talk with people.
Yeah, exactly. And nobody will laugh at my bad accent or
No one, yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I do think that everyone in online, everyone online is totally like kind. Yeah.
Yeah. But I guess you need to treat people nice and kind, and then people will treat you back as the same way. Might be. I guess in most cases.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sorry to interrupt. So can we talk about some technology problems in our work?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, of course.
Sorry, I don't have some problems. So maybe you can bring some.
Okay.
Maybe some late code exercises that you've been doing these days?
You just press LeetCode code. That is hard.
For
Actually, yesterday I was
maybe
doing
you should share your screen. I think we can talk about some general technology.
No. Don't make this into an academic meeting or something like that. Just like it's just for fun.
Yeah.
Don't bring that
I kind of I sort of agree with THP, because you mentioned about this technology sprint, but I think no one I think not everyone in this room focus on the back end development. Some of us are big data developer, and others are front end developers. So it is hard to choose which technology we should discuss. I don't know.
Scientist. Who works in this industry? I mean, the data scientist. Who is the data scientist or researcher?
Well, I'm not a researcher. I'm a big data engineer.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Is that right to pronounce engineer? I don't know, Dan. How about this, engineer or engineer?
I'm not quite sure as well. Engineer, something like that. Engineering or engineer.
When you use it in a question, maybe you should just level up your voice a little bit, like engineer.
Engineering.
Oh yeah.
In a statement, you may just say engineer.
Yeah, I'm a big data engineer, and I focus on big data. I use Hadoop, Flink, and sometimes I will use Spring Boot to build some web end technology products. But I'm not really good at Spring Cloud.
So you do know how to code in Java, right?
Yes, I really like Java. I although I don't know how to use the Spring Cloud, but I know the GVM. I really want to talk about GVM. Maybe that could be academic, James. What do you think about this?
GVM.
Yeah, Java Virtual Machine. That is really cool, I think.
GVM? JVM, right? JVM.
Java Virtual Machine.
JVM.
Yeah, Java Virtual Machine.
Okay. I'm actually more interested in the data, big data.
Like you said, it is sort of academic, too academic. I don't know. What do you think about this, James?
James?
I want to talk about a problem, but my English is so poor, so I don't want others to like me. But I will try my best. Okay, so So if you have a large number data, such as JSON data, it described the airport's passengers information, such as name and age and which plane he had taken, but generally he had taken a lot of plane in the past, right? So for one people, he has a lot of information for the plane, such as Johnson, he had taken the New York plane and the Tokyo plane and the Paris plane. So the plane's information is very so there are so many plane information. So but every plane information is a column. So there are so many columns, and every column has its index. So what we should do to so how can we optimize this kind of situation? So we need to reduce the column, right? So we need to transfer the column to the line, right? So in Chinese, it means 列转行, right? So you can reduce so many index to one index because you only have one column, and the column's content is like this. Is you can make a JSON string to define this kind of data. So you can so have I make my point? So sorry, my English is super.
It's okay, we get it. And don't say that your English is poor. No, actually, when someone is listening to you, they don't care. Just speak out. Nobody cares about that. And so back to the start of your so actually I'm curious, due to the concern of the privacy of the passengers, where do you get all this data regarding the age or address or name of the passengers? I mean, do you guys get the consent of this data by the passengers? Then you are allowed to do this statistics stuff or analyzation. I mean, yeah. So I'm just curious.
Sorry, I didn't catch it.
I mean, all the data that you just mentioned actually are very personal, right? Name, age, sexuality, oh no sexuality, just gender, right? So where do you get this data from?
Oh, I think it is a common information, and it is not my point. My point is maybe there are so many how to say, similar columns in this table. So because maybe in one day he taking the Paris plane. In Tuesday he taking the Tokyo plane. In Thursday he taking the Thailand plane. Right. So there are four columns. Can you understand? So my point is not the general column. My point is we need to reduce the multiple column which is similar. Oh, sorry, Sean. Maybe I ruined the meeting.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah. I guess that might be difficult for the rest of the guys here to understand what you really mean.
James.
Sorry, Sean. Sean, I have to make a comment, I guess. I want to I want to talk to James. James, I guess it is you who keep emphasize that you are not good at English, but I'm not good at English too. We I guess most of the Chinese are not good at English, but it's okay. I always try to persuade myself that English is just a tool of communication. I guess last week I attend an international meeting, and the host was an Indian professor, and you know what, and I guess most of the attendances had difficulty to understand it, but it's okay, I guess. Yeah, you should believe in yourself, and you should have the confidence, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good comment. I never heard any Indian colleagues or Indian friends told me their English is so poor or their English is not so good. Even though actually sometimes they are not very good. Not only the pronunciation, but also other aspects. But I've never heard that similar sentence from their mouths. That's a very interesting observation.
Yeah. What I
guys...
want to.
I do think that we need to be more confident because I heard a lot of I guess or my English is so poor or something like that. I guess this kind of phrase you can use it when it is appropriate, but don't abuse it, use it too much because it just indicates you are not very sure about what you are talking. Yeah, so just try to remind yourself of that. I think most of you guys, the English is pretty good. James, I think the issue is the problem itself is complicated. It's actually not even your English problem or your pronunciation or anything. I can understand you quite well when you are talking about other stuff, but this technical stuff, I don't understand. Maybe I'm not very good at that. Yeah, so sorry to interrupt you guys. Please continue.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, everybody's encouragement. So I want to ask iPhone, are you a programmer? Are you a backend programmer?
I'm a data scientist in a smaller company. It's a fintech. The company is in California. I live in Texas.
Data scientist.
Yeah, data scientist.
So you handle data always, right?
I'm not like Kai. Kai is not here anymore. Kai is working on big data. The data I'm handling is not super big. It might have several million rows, but overall it's very handle. How do you say that? It is easy to process. I'm just building machine learning models, and it's not very complicated. It's much easier than what I learned in school.
Okay, so you must be familiar with MySQL, right?
Yes.
So,
I use SQL a lot. In the company, we're using Redshift. So SQL, just like a language, it has many dialects. Each dialect, it might have some, of course, all of them have some common rule syntax, but there's also some difference.
Okay, so I think you definitely know that if a table have too many indexes, if we query if we insert data to this table, it will be very slow, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in my example, there are too many index in that table. My point is reduce the column, combine the similar column to one column, and combine the content of these columns to one line. So that we can prove the speed of the database.
I understand that need.
Can
It seems to be a data engineer job. So in my job, I don't have to deal with this kind of infrastructure. I don't have to design a table in the database or anything, but I did take the course on database. So I understand what you are talking about, that concern, the issue. But I don't know what's the best practice to tackle the issue. I think for this English corner, online English corner, it might be more helpful if we split into a few smaller groups, and each group, ideally, there's maybe a team leader or someone who can coordinate. And what's that word, Sean? There should be a good word for that. What I said, team leader or coordinator or something. I think there's a better word in English. And also people in similar level. I don't know. What do you think would benefit most of us? How to organize this? Because otherwise, I noticed that previously there were 23 attendees, and right now we have 16, but most of them are just listening. I'm not sure they are even listening. They are listening. Only a few of us,
let's change the topic.
Yeah, actually there was a feature.
Join, call someone out.
Yeah, there was a feature in Tencent Meeting or Microsoft Teams live meeting to break the members into different groups, different smaller groups. Yeah. But I'm not sure if that will be a good idea. Now, most of the time, if there isn't someone hosting a meeting, hosting a discussion, I don't think the group discussion will work for us.
I see. Okay, that's a good point. I want to encourage most of attendees to talk, to express yourself. I noticed that only a few guys are talking. And this is a great opportunity. I appreciate this.
Yeah. I'm 100% agree because I'm also very appreciate that the host Sean give us this precious opportunity, I guess, right? So
yeah,
so I definitely encourage everyone, especially those who are very shy or who are afraid that they will be laughed at. But it's totally okay. You can talk anything, whatever you like, I guess, right?
Yeah, I think most of us, we have enough input, but we just don't take the opportunity to do more outputting.
Yeah, exactly. Because language is a combination of input and output, right?
Yes. Also, I think in terms of pronunciation, most of you guys, your pronunciation is very impressive. And I guess most of you even haven't studied abroad yet. Maybe you have the plan, but you haven't actually go to a foreign country and live there for a long time. And your English is pretty impressive.
Impressive.
And English is just. Sorry, Bill.
You have been very, very nice to them. Frankly speaking, I think most of us who can speak well, have stayed abroad for some time. So.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Well, like for example, Sean, and you, and who else? The Kai is in Hong Kong, right?
I see.
Yeah.
Oh,
and,
that's why. So, yeah, you know, before I went to the US, I've already had enough input, I believe. My GRE verbal, I got a 164, which is 94 percentile. But my oral English, it's not very poor, but I cannot speak one sentence. I could not speak one sentence without error. And I was very shy. And I don't want to talk. I didn't want to speak up, even when there's opportunity. I never took the I don't know how to pronounce 雅思. I took TOEFL, and the oral part. My oral English is 23, but that is enough for me to apply the graduate school, but it's not high.
雅思 is called IELTS.
Yeah.
IELTS.
Yeah. International English. Yeah.
Before I took the TOEFL, the first time I took the TOEFL exam, every other part I was great. But when because I didn't prepare for that TOEFL. After I took the GRE test, I just went to the TOEFL exam, and that just blew me up. I couldn't speak. I just stuck there, right there. And after that experience, I know, oh, this is something that I have to overcome. I had to overcome. Sorry, I made a lot of mistakes about the tense. Then I started to practice, but the practice will help if you find a good way, approach that suitable for you. It can help you improve in a short period of time. The key is definitely practice. But
Yeah,
I do believe
true.
most of us, we have almost enough input, but we still need to practice, because when we are speaking in English, we'll realize the weak points. If we want to express certain things or describe a phenomenon, and we don't know how to do that, but our mind will make a mental note. And so next time when you're doing other things, you overheard what was talking in on TV or other, then you might pick up, oh, that's the way to express it, and so you just learn that.
Can I ask you a question? Considering that we've got more than one data scientists here or data engineers, so because myself, I'm a backend engineer, and I'm what's the difference between the job as an data engineer and the algorithm engineer? For me, it's like, yeah, or like the
engineer,
engineer that works
algorithm?
I mean, for example, that's those engineers that work in OpenAI, like who have worked on the ChatGPT. I mean, like, yeah, what's the difference between these two kinds of jobs, and how do you collaborate with your backend colleagues?
Yeah, in my company, the data engineers, they are mainly focusing on building the infrastructure, and they will also do the ETL jobs. And our team, data scientists, will just mainly focus on building machine learning models to make prediction. But in OpenAI team, that's I don't know what they are doing. I took a course. I took a deep learning course, but my understanding of this generative AI or large language models is not enough sufficient for me to give a good explanation. So what's your job duty? Typical job duties?
Mine?
PhD, yes.
Backend Java.
Backend Java.
Yeah, and I'm kind of tired of it. Still, like, I was wondering whether is there any opportunity that I can become an algorithm engineer in the future, but I don't know. Just a thought. I never
Algorithm by algorithm engineer. What do you mean? Do you mean like building a recommender system or using machine learning?
Yeah, something like that.
I see. There might be a lot of opportunities, I guess. But I have a topic. I have a question for you guys. What do you think the future of programmers in the backdrop of this generative AI? Whether it will significantly reduce the need of programmers, or it may result in a boom in the industry.
In my opinion, if you are in this industry and you have limited understanding of the language or the programming or the infrastructures, whatever, and yeah, in the past, if you can just say CRUD, like operate on the database, and maybe you kind of lose your job in the future due to the impact of the ChatGPT, something like that, LLM, because but for those who have a really deep and concrete understanding of the technologies and design of the design patterns, or yeah, the ChatGPT will be a good tool to boost your productivity. Yes. And to some extent, the company will hire.
It might be a reason that
future.
Many companies are reducing, they are cutting the roles, cutting the number of programmers, because with those new tools, the productivity of the programmers or many other knowledge worker will be improved. But I'm hoping this ChatGPT or other tools can how to say that, it will just like the 第三次产业革命 or something like that, and every industry will need to think a way to take advantage of it, and which will lead in the need, which will result in the need of many programmers. Sorry, I'm going to calling names. Bill, what do you think?
I'm a noob of this programmer. I'm just a noob, so I can't answer your, those professional
Have you used
questions. What?
Have you used it? Used any of tools, ChatGPT or any other?
No. I'm
like
just noob. I'm just a starter of Python, so you can ask Sean or THB. Sue, yes, Sue is here. He's also.
Oh, Sue is here.
Yeah,
Sue, hello, Sue.
Yeah, she.
Hello,
Yes,
Sue.
she.
Hello. You're talking about me?
Yeah, your pronunciation, really impresses us.
Yes.
No.
What's your job? I think you mentioned you are a front-end engineer, right? In Canada. May I ask which city or the big the metropolitans?
Near Toronto.
Oh, okay, cool. And do you like living there?
I would say I got used to it because the lifestyle here is quite chill.
Relaxed. Okay, chill.
Yeah. So but I still miss the life whenever I go back to China, because the convenience that I can get, the people, the cultural that I can actually remind myself back to the old days. I think is it just dragged me back to the memory, and I miss those a lot. But I still can tell the differences and the developed. The city has been developed to the way like much better than before. No matter like the infrastructure of the city, people's ideology about the society, you know, the ethical. Sorry.
You mean Toronto?
No, I'm talking about China.
Near.
So whenever I go back, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't gone back to China for more than 3 years.
Do you miss it?
I of course I missed a lot, especially the food. But I also realized that even if I go back to China, I cannot eat the food every time.
Yeah,
like every day, every time.
We can live stream eating Chinese food.
That will be a torture to me.
For you guys.
There should be Chinatown in your city. Where are you from?
Well, I heard that in Toronto,
where
there are
I live
that are full of Chinese people, and you don't even need to speak a word of English to live there.
Yeah, that's true in some big cities, like in San Francisco, but not where I live. Where I live, you know, the whole Chinese WeChat group. I mean, the size of the Chinese WeChat group is smaller, slightly more than 100 people, and no one is talking. Sometimes someone will ask some questions, but asked certain questions, but almost no responses. So it's just like a ghost town. And the whole city, we don't have a lot of Chinese, but there are a lot of Latinos, Mexicans, people who has heritage of Mexicans,
I remember you said you live.
Mexican heritage.
You're
Sorry,
in Texas, right?
I can't understand the word. I can't. I think I can't catch the word. Yeah, you mentioned that in your city,
Latino.
Not
I mean,
Latino.
the WeChat group is like a ghost town. My pronunciation, ghost town, TOWN. I'm not very good at pronunciation, so just try to aim it. But I think it will be helpful if we try to spend some time to practice it.
I'm sorry, but you mean you are working for the Tencent WeChat group in the Silicon Valley or something?
Oh no, I'm not working there. So I joined a WeChat group, and that WeChat group only has like 120 or 130 people, Chinese people, group members, and most of them they don't talk. It's definitely a big contrast as our Explorer WeChat group, because with our group, there's always people talking, chatting. So it's a different, very interesting contrast.
But why not just go out somewhere, hang out with the Latinos or something, some guys, or girls, you know. You live there, they're out there.
Yeah, that's a good question. I had some Latino friends, and they are, I think, each ethnic group and people from different ethnic groups, they have different personality traits. I mean, overall, of course, every individuals, each individual is different. But I think a lot of them are, how to say that? 外向 external. How to say that?
Extrovert.
Okay.
Extroverted 是外向。
Introverts, extroverts.
Extroverted.
Oh.
Extrovert.
Introvert. I'm actually I don't think I'm an introvert because I can definitely talk to anyone.
我给你们打到
and
聊
I
天窗
enjoy
口
the
里。
conversation. But
Extroverted.
I think maybe because of my age, I just I think over time I just enjoy the meaningful conversation more than the superficial, the more shallow talking. Victoria.
Yeah, Victoria mentioned in the WeChat she is currently an IELTS teacher.
Yes. My major in university was mathematics. So I worked as a programmer 30 years ago. Very, very long time ago.
That's
At the
30
time
years
we were
ago.
using the C++, right? Very long time ago.
Wow. C+.
Actually C.
Why all of a sudden you guys are all silent?
So I'm quite interested in you guys'
nothing.
life, you know, out there in America or Canada. So how's the jobbing position and how's the job environment? How's your colleagues? How's life there? You know, the pay, the rent, something, anything?
Yeah, I'm very happy with my current work. I've never actually worked in China, but I got my master degree in China. Is almost like a job, and I got paid. I got about slightly more than 2,000 yuan a month from my
直播间里面有大牛说是 outgoing.
Outgoing is fine. Yeah, outgoing is fine.
Huh?
Oh, okay. Yes.
Yeah, who just mentioned my name?
Nobody mentioned your name.
Okay. Yeah, you guys continue.
I'm going to calling names. Sorry to put you guys on the spot. I will randomly pick up a name. Boris, are you there? I think we should give the little
Boris,
black cat.
right? Boris.
Yeah.
Yeah, Boris.
Boris.
The British premier. That's a good name.
The little black cat is not here. Okay, Gary. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Gary doesn't even have a mic.
Oh, I see. George.
Hey, what?
Hello, George.
Yeah, I'm here.
You want to talk?
Okay, sure. So what do you want to say? I mean,
What do you want to say?
I think I got the COVID the second time today. So
I'm sorry.
Where are you?
How's the symptoms?
I don't know. It just happened an hour ago. I feel my throat is not feeling well, and I think my temperature is rising. I guess I'm not sure. I may test my temperature later.
I'm sorry to hear that. Then please monitor your health and the symptoms. Then you don't have to talk. You can just listen.
Sure, thanks.
I hope you have a speedy recovery. A quick recovery.
So we have people living in Toronto, in Texas, the US, and Beijing. What other cities do we have people living in?
How about James? Where do you live?
I live in Beijing.
I live in Beijing, the capital.
Yeah, I want to make a comment. I want to make a comment because I also
live in Beijing.
Live in Beijing. Yeah.
And
what
so
a
does
coincidence.
Bill.
Well, yeah, what a coincidence.
I see.
What a
I
surprise.
used to live in Toronto for about 4 years. In Beijing, that's about I think almost 1 year there, and then the other cities like in Melbourne, almost 5 years, and then Philippines, 2
wow.
years. A lot of
Why you stay
Amazing life.
Philippines?
Pardon?
It's freezingly cold in Toronto, and because I have my best I guess my best friend got an offer from University of Toronto, and I just wonder what's the weather like in Toronto.
It's very good, very good. The room temperature is always around 25 degrees, right? So we can often see a girl wearing a dress coming outside of a car and then pay the parking fee.
Wow. What's the temperature outside in winter? The typical temperature during the day?
-30, like that. But you have a lot of chance to go skiing. Very good.
Yeah. I come from northeast part of China, so it should not be an issue for me. But to be honest, I really enjoy the life in southern city. So last year was the first time I live in Texas, because previously I lived in Iowa for almost 9 years, and I really appreciate the life in a warmer place.
Yeah, it's warm in
I heard the
Texas.
one winter it was extremely cold in Texas, but I forgot which year it was.
I think that's in Austin or some places, some cities in Texas, they have that issue. I might need to use Chinese because they have the 电网. So basically, the 电网 will connect all the national 电网, but
National
Texas
grid,
is very
yes.
unique. Yeah, they don't want to join that 电网, and that's why when they have this outrage, even other states want to help them. There's no good way to help them, and so many people they were just frozen. It's super cold inside and outside.
To death.
Why they're not willing to join? Aren't those companies making money from selling electricity?
Yeah, maybe it's because of the security concerns.
Oh, it's why don't they want why I it's not security concerns, I guess, because
yeah, I mean,
Texas
say
is
for
very
example,
conservative.
say for
They
example,
want to
if all the
be
country,
independent.
yeah, I mean,
Sorry.
say for example, if all of the country has only one power grid, right?
Yeah, that's the word, power grid. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, if you just bomb the part of the power grid, I guess the outcome, the result might be all of the city will be out of electricity just right away.
Yeah.
No, but you can only like
that might be the
bomb
reason.
you know. You can only bomb the cables between these electricity stations, and there must be plenty of them out there. You can't just bomb all of them.
不是他肯
Because
sorry
otherwise that
sorry
will
for
be
my
a wall.
我就用中文解释一下，我说他可能有一些中间的一些节点啊，就是一些变电站啊或者输电站什么的，那些中间的有一些中枢的节点，然后只要你把其中的几个给炸掉，然后它肯定就没电了。
Have you noticed that there are more extreme weather instances?
Yeah, we have already experienced last year in China.
Yeah, last summer is really, 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 really hot.
Yeah, it was really hot in a lot of places in China, and there there was an unprecedented 干旱怎么说来着
Drought.
Yes.
Oh, I will look it up in the dictionary. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the word.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The cloud from the Indian Ocean that was supposed to bring the rainfall for a lot of Chinese provinces along Yangtze River, along Changjiang, right?
I think you mean not the Indian Ocean, but the South China Sea, I think.
No, not 中国所有几乎大部分的降雨都是来自于印度洋的。
不知道印度洋那里有喜马拉雅山在挡着在。
没有，就是它斜着向东北方向，因为有地球的那个自西向东转的那个自转，带着就是它往正北运行的这个相当于风呢，它就是随着地球自转，不就向东北方向了嘛，对吧？
Yeah, I learned this from my geometry class as well. That the mountain, they're just blocking. It's just blocking the moist to India, not China.
对，它是这样子，就是有一部分它其实就是从那个喜马拉雅山，其实就是东南侧这边，就相当于从缅甸那个云南那一带，直接就到四川、到湖北、湖南，还有河南、江西、上海、江苏这一带。去年这边基本上大部分就是中国长江沿线的省份有好几个月的没有降雨，就干旱。然后那个干旱呢，因为这边不是又是叫什么副热带高压嘛？
对，副热带高压一直
对，然后是印度洋的那个云团要往东北方向运行的过程中，遇到副热带高压的压迫着，然后就往西走了，往西走就到了巴基斯坦了。巴基斯坦呢，就迎来了巴基斯坦上历史上最大的降水。它那个降水不仅仅是来自于这个就是把长江流域的降水弄到巴基斯坦了，还有一部分因为极端高温使得这个喜马拉雅山去青藏高原所有的这个冰川呢，就是加速融化了嘛。因为去年其实你看新疆其实也有洪水，青海那边也有洪水，但就是长江流域呢就大面积干旱了，干旱使得就是水力发电也跟不上了，对吧？水力发电也跟不上，你四川都开始缺电了。你看去年一是上海不是封禁了几个月嘛？上海封禁的几个月， 这使得可能美国啊其他国家的这个通胀水平不是又变高了嘛，然后又使得这个电力水平又发电又跟不上，好像也使得这个你看浙江、江苏好多地方都是限产的嘛。OK， 说完了，Sorry about my Chinese explanation for that.
No, but I'm never good at those things.
Yeah, iPhone, where do you live in Texas? I mean, which city?
Is El Paso. El Paso is
El Paso.
border.
It's
Yeah,
not
borders
far away from Houston, right?
Actually very far away, quite far
Very
away.
far away.
Because
El Paso.
Texas is super wide, and is I think it might take 10 hours to drive. I don't know. Not quite sure.
Wow, that's
I think there are a few episodes, US episodes, drama from are taking place in this city, like 绝命毒师, but I've never watched that.
Yeah, I watched the movie over there.
I
That's
see.
my favorite show, actually.
Oh, wow. So you might have some
interesting story to share.
Oh, okay. I can share my own story actually regarding to that. Breaking Bad is like, this is the show's name. So I watched this show after it has been like a couple seasons released. So I started watch it, and then I got into it, and it was the weekend, and I was watching it with my friend at home, and all those drama happen in those story. We are kind of like, oh my God, like what would this happen in real life? The moment that we are talking about it, and someone knocked on my door, I opened my door, there was a fireman. And fireman was telling me, hey, you have to leave your apartment. There is a medical leave. I was like, what? Am I really in the show? Because I was watching it, the Breaking Bad on the TV. And you are telling me there's a medical lead? And then I was like, is this real? But the fireman was telling me, you have to go. So I rushed myself out of the door, and without actually knowing I should bring my wallet. So once I got down to the apartment, all the people was waiting outside. No, not sure what's happening. Just waiting for the fireman to come and investigate. And we wait for hours downstairs and not allowed to go back to our own apartment. And the moment they came and investigate, it was like 2 hours after we were downstairs. And it was still like waiting without knowing how far we can like get back to it. So at the end, they actually find an apartment, a unit. So basically the entire floor was wet and then soaked in the medical kind of a liquid thing. I haven't seen it, but I just heard about it from others. So nobody were allowed because the smell, the chemical could hurt people. So I would say half of the apartment, all the residents were sent to a hotel to relocate until the full the full investigation complete. Then after 2 days, we are allowed to get back to our place. So that's my own story. But surprisingly, like, yes, something really happened like that way.
One question regarding to what you said. Why there is, some dangerous chemical in your apartment? I'm very curious about that.
No, so I live in a building, so there are so many units. What happened is not in my unit. It's another floor, a different unit. So what happened was the unit under that, they found a water leak from the ceiling.
Oh,
water
leaking.
leak. Yeah, the leaking.
Okay,
yeah.
okay. Because you said chemical leaking, so I thought maybe some, dangerous
Well, first
chemical
they don't
stuff.
know. They don't know whether that's chemical. They only know some like water leaking. They assume that's water.
Yeah.
So they reported to the management office, and someone was sent to take a look. And the moment when the staff, the management office, they stepped in the apartment, they can smell immediately something is way weird, not usual, right? So, and they immediately just report to the 911, ask people come and investigate.
Yeah, okay, I got what you're
happened.
saying.
Yeah, so after the investigation, the result is, those are icicle.
Icicle? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. So yeah,
Um,
that's what happened.
So,
That
so
is
you
the-
mean that some guy who is making those drugs in the apartment,
Yes.
right? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Making
I
the
see.
drug inside the apartment and becomes a lab, so that's why there was a medical leak.
I see.
Happened. Yeah.
That's an interesting story, really.
Well, it's scary, I have to say, but it's also interesting. Become a story to tell.
Yeah, for you it's scary, and for us, yeah, it's really interesting to hear such a story. Yeah, I think. Why so
Anyone
weird?
have a story to share about?
Oh, by the way, Sui, yesterday I was really impressed by your fluency and your accent. But today,
I have my own accent.
But today you just speak very slow, and I can feel that, like that kind of really perfect.
Completely another
perfection.
person.
I think I have my own accent because I came to a long way to get to this stage. I still can hear, like, whenever I record myself and then I listen to it, I still can tell the accent. But thank you. Thanks for the compliment.
你们都说话呢？
Any question? Well, I just shared. I will leave the opportunity to others to speak as well.
Hello, Alex.
Hello, Sean.
Yeah, you're just so quiet.
Yeah, that's run into the room randomly.
Yeah. Do you have anything to share with us?
Maybe it's running out there. I want to go home. Yeah, I don't want to share. Yeah, so sorry.
Yeah, someone just dropped.
Yeah.
Do
you guys in Beijing actually had a offline gathering before?
No, we never had a offline
Pretty
gathering.
huh?
Yeah.
I think it's also called meetup.
Yeah, meetups.
I would like to join some meetup, but there's almost none.
Or face to face.
Yeah.
You know, iPhone.
Yeah.
I
There are
once.
some in corner in meetup.
Yeah, there's a website I think just called Meetup, I guess.
Yeah. On Meetup there are so many English activity.
那个 T 应该读的吧，是吧
？Maybe.
Yeah, meetups.
Yeah, it's just activity website, I think.
I should try it out.
Yeah. Actually, there are some similar websites like 活动型, like other called 互动吧.
Oh, I have never heard of such websites.
Yeah, they host some different activity in different cities.
Oh. So if you guys don't know anything to share with us, you can just speak Chinese, no problem. 我们今天的话题本来是用中文用英语都可以，最后呢，大家都是 it seems most of us here just prefer to use English. 因为太安静了，你知道吗？所以说我希望大家都能说话发言，因为我们已经讨论了好多。
最近的空气质量怎么样呢？我在新闻上看到了一些。我当时在北京学习了3年因为我的研究生需要读3年，是一个研究就是
这几年已经是非常好。
国内的研究生好像都是3年吧，起码都是应该是
硕士吗？硕士都是3年吗？我那个时候就是是一个研究型硕士，所以是3年，但是也有一些所谓的好像不是研究型硕士，它就2年左右。
我是国贸，我国内国贸专业的，我的同学当时去读了金融研究生，也是3年。
哦，现在呢？现在国内是不是还是没有1年的？像英国会有一些1年的硕士。
那个只是国内人称水硕。国内好像都不承认这种1年的硕士。
硕士相对来说确实是，因为你再怎么挤的话，那1年内学到的东西可能还是相比2年能学到的东西，可能还是会有一些限制，就是
有些人就想获得学位，所以说这个是好像这个叫什么 cost efficient 是吧？
哦，对。
单纯的从学习角度来说，确实可能没那么好。
就是去混一下
但是从学英语的角度，我觉得好像大概3个月，我忘了，大家可以分享一下你们的体验吗？就是你觉得你到了国外之后多久，你好像感受到了一种质的变化？就是对我而言呢， 一个比较大的变化，其实是在我开始认真准备托福口语的时候，因为在那之前，我就是每说一句话都会不可避免的，几乎不可避免的会犯一些错误，各种错误。然后通过考托福好了一些，然后到了国外之后就慢慢的变得，因为我一开始比如说我要去见导师，我会提前要打副稿，当然不一定要把它写出来，但我在心里面会做很多准备。那慢慢的我就觉得好像可以不用准备了，就是直接现场去说。当然有的时候流利，有时候不流利。而且说回到我自己的英语水平发挥，我就会发现我有的时候就特别好，就感觉好像非常流利，我想表达什么都可以。然后有的时候呢就觉得好像有点磕磕巴巴，然后就不那么行，就他水平其实也会波动。我自己的感
你哪怕是说中文的话，有时候你会觉得你这个是吧？这个怎么说？反正就是说的很好，但是有时候你又会觉得无话可说那种，这都一样，哪个语言都这样。
但是你口音至少不会变，就是就是哪怕我的 pronunciation 它也会变，就是有的时候就特别好。然后我确实感觉到，就是当你有点担心你会被 judge， 就是被那个评判什么的时候，就更难发挥出你应有的水平。
这个你是觉得在什么时候会被担心被评判？你
这个就很难说，我不知道。就比如说我跟我有一些女性领导说话的时候，我在某些时候我就觉得，哎，我好像特别流利，就是但是也不一定完全女性领导，我就是说某一个manager， 然后在跟他沟通的时候，某一些 manager 我就会特别的自如自在，然后有一些人呢，他就会让我感觉到更拘谨一点。
就有些人他的亲和力比较好，然后人讲话的时候看你的对手，就棋逢对手，你就发挥的好。然后你跟 native speaker 他们讲的口音很纯正的，你的口音也不自觉的就会更加纯正一点，会好一些。
可能就是有多种因素。
你像我当时在那边上课的时候，不是本科的话是有 communication 这种课的，我学的是上课。
你是在哪个国家呢？对哦。
我现在在中国。
我知道，我说你刚才说你在那边上课是指什么？
我之前是在德克萨斯呀。
你也在德克萨斯？
我之前在德克萨斯，对。所以当时特意问
是交换还是就到这边读学位呢？
我拿了个本科学位啊。
你在那边读的本科？
是啊。
是什么学校？我
才知道。
一个小学校，就不跟你们说了。
是汤姆吗？汤姆特别小。
但那个学校非常好啊，实际上功课非常好。
是吗？我听着说那个学校特别小。
我不知道多大多小，但德州很多东西都很大。
他们明星院都有这些东西啊。实际上你当时不是特别跟你们说了一下吗？能够说下来的基本上都是有过国外经验的，或者是吧，像凯那样有那个工作环境的，是吧？天天在那里说英语的，才能够说的比较 OK 一点，比较好一点。所以像你今天说的要把它分几个小组的话，你首先得考虑每个小组都起码需要一个能够是吧？像你
不然的话，我就担心有一些人他是不是不好意思说，或者是他就完全单纯做一个听众。但也许有一些人可能参与进来，他也没太打算要说，他只是要听一下大家在讨论什么。
有些人就是比较害羞吧。实际上说真的，我们当年刚开始去张口说英语的时候，不都是这样的吗？是不是的？
你是多久之后感觉到了一种变化呢？
实际上，你只要根据我的观察，我自己你在有那种环境之下，你大概2到3个月，你就能够开口说些简单的话，后面就看自己的造化了。就是说你根本会不会努力去说，是吧？然后自己词汇肯定是一个大问题咯，是不是？努力去背。
我其实觉得我好像在机场的时候就有了变化，因为那个时候就非常明确的知道，你在机场你也不可能那么容易找到中国人嘛，而且没有必要。 然后你去找，比如说外国人问路的话，那就不可避免的就开始要说英语。
你这种说英语的话，因为我们当年是有外教的嘛，实际上我们课堂上还是尝试着努力就说英语。我
你
说的是
是说高中的时候是吧？
大学，我是转学过去的，所以我在
是转
国
学过去。
内大学读了2年，就是我说的那种
大学读
变化是，
2年，我你这个效率真高。
不是，我是转过去的，你懂吧？我是国内和国外的学位我都拿到了。
我知道，我就觉得这样其实效率最高嘛。
高什么？这样说的，就是现在想起来是很后悔的，不应该这样搞，但是当年也不知道嘛。
为什么呢？为什么会后悔呢？可以分享一下吗？
要那个一点就是我现在在恶补单词啊，就是当年的话，虽然说也考了个 TOEFL，但是分数不是特别高，当时也没意识到出去之后会面对一些什么问题啊。出去之后就发现这个单词量是远远不够的。然后像你们研究生出去的话，哎，你们的单词量起码你是要过那个 GRE 那一关，是不是？GRE 不管怎么样啊，不管这些考试你认为它好也好，坏也好，起码一点，它让你的单词量水平起码上升了一个档次。
对，我其实是非常感激 GRE 的，因为真的提升很多，不光是英语水平嘛，因为它是有助于帮你认识到英语内在的逻辑，就包括我们会有一些就是填空补全啊这样的一些题型，真的其实很有帮助，对
肯定是有
于整个
帮助的。
加深对语言的理解。
它就是说帮助你，不光是你哪怕实际上你现在去读一篇文章也好，实际上也是，是吧？不管它之前的难的 GRE 文章，你虽然我没去看那些东西啊，但我毕竟是吧，在外面也待那么年嘛，所以我能够想象到他肯定在里面也给你介绍了一些东西，是吧？你也通过那个积累，你肯定也能够怎么样加深对英语的了解嘛，是不是？然后加深对一些单词的用法。说真的，说真的，你要是跟一个老中是吧？假如说希望你跟一个普通的中国是吧？中国人是不用英语聊天，你可能是吧？有时候你搞不好你会不自觉的犯出一些小小的英语语法错误啊。当然，我们现在我觉得那一些已经不是很重要了。但是如果说你跟一个老外，一个 native American speak， 你跟他去交流，你会觉得很舒服啊，因为你知道他是不会犯什么错误的，然后呢，交流起来更爽、更愉快一些。所以就说听你们跟那个外教是吧，在聊天的时候上，但是还感觉我自己啊，我在外面听的话，我感觉还挺有意思的。
你说我们吗？
对啊，你们不是
哦，对对
每
对，
天那个有外教课，还有1个半小时还是
嗯，
1个小时？
对，1个半小时，
然后就是关于有个比较我说的，我当时跟你说2到3个月的那个大的变化是啊，是我们当时是已经有了一点点的口语基础了，然后呢过去之后发现过了2、3个月，因为你必须天天说嘛，是不是？必须天天说，哎，你感觉这个流畅度啊之类的都就要好一些了，更好一些，是这个意思啊。然后然后再要往上发挥的话，就也看一些个人的一些天赋啊之类的了啊。因为发现有这个语言，任何东西都是有天赋的。比如有的人在数学有天赋，有人在语文有天赋，有人在物理上有天赋，同样语言上也是有一定的天赋的。很可惜，我这个技能点好像点的不是特别好，看你们好像要
我觉得这个
好一点。
语言其实没无所谓天赋不天赋的。你要是被关在美国监狱里面，没有中国人，没有会说中文的，你试试，保证你一年特别流利。
这是真的有语言天赋的。我当时在那边遇到一个华人啊，他是当年从柬埔寨逃出来的啊，你们懂的都懂啊。然后呢，然后去被老美救出来，在他们的海外领土那边工厂做工嘛，好像是做什么毛衣啊，就做衣服那一类的。然后他是吧，毕竟柬埔寨那个地方，你肯定学不到什么英语啊。但是这个人他就是吧，跟别人相处之后，就是慢慢能开始说英语，然后别人说什么，他能够慢慢理解啊。当然了，除非他骗我啊，但是我觉得他没必要骗我，是吧？一个是40、50岁的人，然后我跟他也没什么利益关系啊。然后他听得出来，他那个口音的话，确实说标准倒也不是很标准，但是交流起来是没问题啊。他反正就这样说的啊。我当时没学过英语，但是不知道怎么就听得懂他们，然后慢慢的也能开始说了啊。是这样的，所以 在那个时候我就领悟到，这个天赋有时候你还是得考虑。当然，我们不是说你是吧，有天赋不怎么好，你就是吧，你放弃之类，是说，是吧？比如说在发音准度方面啊，就是说实在的，今天我本来想说，但是我觉得没必要去打击别人，没必要去，既然你是举办这个口音的课的话，就纠正别人口音了，那我没必要多说什么。实际上有的时候有那么一点口音也没什么的，不需要去追求完美，你追求完美很累很累。说实在的，我们这里大部分人，你出去说个英语的话，别人老外一听就知道你是个老外。
老外一听这就是个老外，
是不是的？包括苏语，说真的，苏语昨天我一听他那个英语，哇，我当时感觉哇，这已经很标准了。说真的啊，但是我相信多多少少会有哪些地方会让别人感觉出来。就打个最简单的比方，你在我们中国的春晚上面，是不是前几年不停的有一些老外上春晚，这大家都知道吧？你们看不看？行吧，就是有些外国人留学生在我们中国的，然后就上我们中国的春晚
啊，
然后呢，说真的，你要是闭着眼睛不看屏幕，你听他们说话，那么一些留学生，我是感觉到有大概2到3个，我闭着眼睛，我不光听他话，我是听不出来他是老外的，但其他的基本上多多少少会有哪个地方让我感觉到，哦，他是个老外。所以啊，对于英语来说也是一样的，是吧？就是大致 OK，所以我对我的要求没那么高，所以是吧？昨天有个人说一听我这里说话就知道我是个湖北人，我当时还一惊，不过一想无所谓，这个真的没太必要去，就说一定要追求极致，只要本来我们也是大家在外面都知道，跟老外在交流方面还 OK 的了，比较 nice，不会就是说你什么是有口音啊一大堆的，就怎么样怎么样，没有这个事，是不是？所以就是对我这种这样的来说，就是大致说的 OK 就行了像思维这样比较厉害的可以更高一点，可以追求更高一点。Sean， I'm over。
我不厉害，嗯嗯我觉得我很同意你说的，
这的声音太小了
我又太小了吗？
现在
太小，现在好了。所以你是什么时候开始学英语的？
在我出来之后才开始说英语的。
那你什么时候学的呢？
什么时候啊？
就是你是因为我们那个时候我们是初中才开始学英语，而且说真的，是吧？反正学校老师毕竟一个老师教几十个学生，说真的是到了大学之后才慢慢的开始纠音毕竟有了外教才慢慢的知道自己哪些发音错啦一大堆的，是吧？反正就因为就感觉你发音挺标准，我觉得你的基础应该打得比较好，所以想估计你是不是要么学英语学的早一点，或者是你们学校老师很厉害，把你们教的很好。
就是自己的练吧，练出来，就平常交流练出来的。就我最初学习的时候也是，就小的时候我没有去纠正这个，就正视这个事情，就直到了就真正要使用的时候，才会觉得自己不够那个时候才真正的去努力的学，但是那个时候已经成年了，你知道吗？
你的声音又开始变小了
我已经是那个麦克风离得比较近现在希望
现在好多了
我就说在我真正觉得使用上面有个缺口的时候，那个时候我就已经成年了，那个时候才会去正视这个事情这个音准方面的话，我其实说真的，我的音准没有那么好，只是说我多年的那个交流上面就学回来的。我小的就之前最初的时候呢，我的音呢是有点像小朋友的音，就是这个事情就是要看，就你跟什么人去交流，就可能你就会学到那个人的音。 我那个时候最初的时候就没有什么比较成熟一点的那个交流的伙伴，那个时候就跟小朋友去交流。但是小朋友的交流方式的话，就是小朋友有他自己的那个音准跟那个语调。就是刚刚我不知道你们有没有一种就经验，就是在最初的时候，如果是那个音准不太好的时候，一个语句你可能是是一个 sentence， 然后到了最后你好像是觉得是在调戏人家，你知道吗？就是说我 questioning everything about what you say，you know，so 那个时候的话就变得到了真正跟人家沟通的时候，人家会误会了你的那个 intention， 就有时候就会有这个麻烦在，所以后来，请说。
你继续，你继续。
但是我想说的是，我知道我不足的地方就是那个 vocabulary 还有很多那种那种就是沟通上面，在某一领域或者是专业领域或者是怎样子，那个沟通上面，其实我是不太行的，而且
那个对我们来说都一样的，我相信在座各位，我相信都会遇到这个，希望或者是就哪怕希望你们可能是对你们计算机行业的那些专业术语懂吧，是不是？其他的稍微跟你，比如说聊个什么地质学，你肯定懵逼。
是啊，我今天讲那个气候，很多词我就不知道了。
对，都一样的，所以他们的英语是吧？我当年还跟他们抱怨过，就是你们的英语单词数量太多了，说我们中国汉字是吧，就3000汉字左右，我觉得基本上就没什么问题了。他们这起码要1万好几。
你说英语单词吗？
我跟以前在外面的时候跟那老外抱怨过，是吧？你们
不是，
单词
它基本上3000个单词也是能覆盖80%-90%的应用场景了。而且你看那个，它有个 COCA 的那个语料库啊，就是美国官方的吧？好像那个语料库里面不是对所有单词的使用频率进行排名的吗？3000以内的单词基本上就 COCA 排名前3000的这个单词掌握了，基本上说句实话，生活够用了。
那肯定是，实际上咱们如果说在那边这个基本生活是没问题，但是稍微讨论深入一点，那还是有问题的。那还有，所以我想问你个问题，你是什么时候过去的？
我是10年前吧。
我是说，意思是你是多大？我们是比如说我刚才已经说的很清楚，是不是？我是大3过去的，所以我是20岁左右过去的。不过这个你就不说了吧，免得暴露你的OK， 好的。然后还有一点，刚才想说什么？比如说，就像你刚才说那个因为当时我们有一个牙买加，他实际上他是香港来的他是香港过去移民到牙买加，然后到美国留学。
香港移民到牙买加，我这
对，然后他学的是医学，然后当时我们有时候在一起是吧，晚自习嘛，自己看书嘛，然后我就翻了一下他的书，然后我第一面看到就是一个人体的解剖那个图嘛，就那个骨头嘛，你知道我当时第一反应是什么吗？你发现他那个什么是吧？那个人体每块骨头是吧？我们都知道一般都有他自己的名字吧，全都是毫无相干，对我们来说是毫不相干的一些单词。你不像我们中国的汉语是习惯用一些熟悉的东西去构建一些新的词汇。你比如说你现在给你一个，哪怕我们不是学医学的，你去看那个人体骨骼图的话，起码你知道它是骨头吧？怎么，我们后面都会加个什么骨吧，什么头骨啊，什么胫骨啊，什么那些。当然那些汉字说真的，很多我也不认识我小时候不喜欢查字典所以，但是起码一点，你看到它之后，你知道它是骨头吧？是不是？但是英文的话，那个感觉就是从上到下几十个单词，每一个是吧？对我们来说，对我们这种老外来说，可能就是特别的，对吧？费神费劲。
对吧？所有的那个词典里面，
专业英文
最多的词汇都是医学词汇。
更起码一点就是
医学词汇差不多得是几十万个。
对，然后 多少？
几十万个。
哦哟，我以为就几
所以说，
万个。然后当时，然后有一个母亲带着孩子，然后过去读书啊，他是个国企的，然后他的孩子当时大概8、9岁。说实在的，学语言还是要趁早过去还最好。有时因为
8、9岁人
他正好是
家不到就1年多，差不多就适应了。
啊，对，因为当时他正好跟他妈妈是当时一起上课嘛，所以他是中国人嘛，有时候节假日的时候不是什么我们中国的节假日大家会聚一聚嘛，然后有时候就看到那个小家伙，结果过了什么半年，什么他可能在那待个半年1年吧，然后那个小家伙就开始比划着，哎，你这个是什么鼓什么鼓，你知道吧？你知道我当时他就很惊讶，哇，在我看来这么复杂这么难的东西，在这个小孩子看来，对吧？毕竟小孩子嘛，接受能力强，各方面适应的快，所以他能够很快把这些东西都熟练运用。说真的，
对啊，
还是挺羡慕的。
这个学习就这样，你知道现在就来军队招那个飞行员，你知道吗？以前飞行员是什么？叫啊，不是舰载机飞行员什么的，他要从你战斗机飞行员什么选拔什么的之类的。现在很多的基本上就是18岁，就是从大学生开始招，因为然后扯远了，我就说的是他们说的意思就是什么，这年龄越小学的越快的。
就是啊，现在在学这东西是吧？现在年纪大了，在学这个，像我这样突然间跳过来学做马龙，我也真是说真的，心里也是有点虚的啊。
你开始已经转马龙了吗？
我正在学，我不是说了吗？我这个 new 嘛，准备刚开始嘛，才学一些基本的。我才2月份才开始看相关的一些书籍啊，是吧？我是在是吧？也是看了网上各种各样的什么 Python 那种什么课程嘛，看得多嘛，所以就想着，哎，先说是 Python 比较简单呢，所以先从 Python 开始了解这门东西嘛。否则我加这个群，你说我干啥？就不就是看你这说是吧？这是一些是吧？工程师这些软件这些相关行业的嘛，所以也你没看我昨天也在咨询嘛，是不是？还问一些什么一些情况？毕竟我不是这一行的呀，所以我起码需要一些基本的指导嘛。
我加入不是传是因为英语的，也是因为这个是程序员的，因为这个是相关专业，而且在这个行业里面，在工作上面也可以有交流嘛，就是大家互相学
对，
习，
你这
所以
个说真的，对我们这些是吧，在国外待过的，基本上你这个对我们的帮助，英语方面帮助不是特别大了已经，但是那个专业方面啊，还是有点帮助的啊。
所以说这群里面你看，好像各种背景的程序员都有，然后没想到也是这个世界各地的都有，因为之前我不是解散那个1000多人的群嘛，然后我看那群里面也有各地的读硕士、读博士的，还有日本、加拿大、美国、新加坡、什么澳大利亚、英国这些都有。
就是有个群嘛，就是说大家可以讨论一些技术上的问题，对于这些想搞技术的来说啊，还是不错的嘛。你在群里面虽然说有时候在垮天，在怎么摆龙门阵呢但是还是有时候是吧？有些人需要一些帮助，其他的人懂得还是会指出来嘛。对的，对他们来说这肯定是一个是吧？是一个比较好的事情。你像我昨天是吧？那个人给我说了一些，从他的这个说法来看，虽然说对我目前的需要来说是离得很远，但是他说的一些是吧？我个人是比较喜欢那种你把个大框架先有个基本了解，他就把一个框架型的东西给我指出来一下，然后让我重点关注一下这个东西。所以我昨天还是去搜了一下相关的一些信息，确实给了我一点点启发。当然，虽然因为我现在级别特别低，所以还肯定领悟不到特别深，但是也算是一些帮助嘛，是不是？获得了一些帮助，所以我就是说，是吧 ？Get some help from the group, so I offer some help here，就这样的嘛。
Same thought. smart people think alike.
你声音又开始小了。
昨天我提醒我说这声音小，然后我还被喷了。
啊，你被谁喷了？
不是，我说我昨天不是提醒，就说秀的声音有点小嘛。后来说了第一次，大家也没说什么。第二次的时候，当然他第二次还是有一点点小。然后我说了之后，然后就被大家给喷了，所以我就不敢说话了。
啊，有喷吗？我没有感觉啊。
他们说
你说小的话就应该说出来啊，因为你听的是
你第一次是很小，但第二次呢，怎么说呢？还是就说也勉强够，知道勉强够，但是更大一点肯定更好。但是所以我就又说了一下，说肯定再大一点，然后我就被喷了啊。
我昨天是用我的那个 laptop， 然后今天我是专门是用了那个 headphone。我想说用 headphone 应该是好一点，但是还是觉得小。你们
不是，你现在说话是完全没问题的，但是你刚才有时候就说的很小。那你们听我的声音大不大？我也是用的是 laptop。
哎，我觉得可以啊，很清晰啊。哎，你的 computer 比我的可能会收音好一点。
那我拼着，反正我这用的是那个联想的拯救者啊，就是用的是这个，目前用的还 OK 啊，不知道你是什么牌子？
我的是一个老的Mac。
OK， 我这是3年前买的，2020年买的。
我这个应该是15年啊。差不多10年。
哎呀，你也真厉害呀，还用这么久你。
我都买的16年的这个电脑还在用。
我们是笔记本的，你电脑的话，你搞不好你
我也是笔记本啊，笔记本你知道16年买的那个64G 内存。
哎呀，你们厉害。
多少的这个6G 还是8G 的12G 的显卡，我忘了都先从当时配置挺高的，反正好像现在你说内存好像现在也不落伍，但是机器也是。
肯定也有点老了，你的笔记本有没有升级过啊？应该升级过了吧？这么多年了。
升级就是17年、18年买过的一个那个什么2T 的一个就是固态硬盘。
你说？
我觉得内存很容易说不够的。
那是的呀，我看那个我是准备过去读 college 嘛，然后搞2年，然后拿到那个什么 work permit 嘛，然后
你是想去加拿大吗？
对啊。然后我看了一下他那个 requirements，那个对机器的要求啊，就是要求要32G，而我这个电脑正好就2个8G 16G 不够。听你们这一说是吧？反正觉得这个学 IT 这方面可能对内存确实要求很高啊。
对，不过你如果是工作是什么的话呢？一般公司会配给你的。不用。
我现在过去的话，肯定是要，因为我对这行完全是新手嘛，所以我肯定要真的要往这边走的话，我肯定要去那边读2年的，所以那先要去学校，先混过2年，然后是吧，再才能够去工作。对，所以现在也是说想把基础打好的嘛，单词背一背，然后把一些是吧，把这个。
你要年纪不大的话，你为什么你这去美国也行呢？
我年纪很大啦，我已经很老了，我相信这里
不是，我觉得可能加拿大的这种机会可能不算太多，你知道吗？
我的计划是先在加拿大那边，是吧？先把身份争取拿到，身份拿到之后，然后如果说到时候自己
这是2个很冲突的一点呢，因为这身份是一方面，那工作机会咱们不知道说有没有。虽然说是我看网上说是加拿大现在移民特别宽松啊，说是未来10年有500万加拿大人要退休了，那我不知道是不是准确。
他们这里我是看到网上消息，国内的消息，他们是想要每年争取有100万移民吧？
对啊，他说是到2100年把加拿大人口提高到1亿人口，这不知道能不能提到。
反正他肯定我们知道一个地方它不好的地方肯定是吧，人少肯定有原因的是吧，天寒地冻的啊，但是别人毕竟是个比较好的，而且是吧，发达国家福利比较好一点，
不然你要
然后
他要去把所有的政策都放开的话，印度人早就能跑过去把他们填满了。
啊，这好，起码一点，别人现在是吧？现在这个党是不是现在那个 party 啊在位的，他还是比较欢迎移民的，那我肯定要争取去把握一下机会嘛。然后如果说以后啊，因为我现在混的比较差嘛，很差啊，我的说法就是我跟我爸妈说法是，我既然在中国只能做个底层，那我是吧，争取去做那边的底层，那边底层是吧，生活中各方面福利比较好一点，万一不行整体还是做那边底层，起码不会过得太差。要是万一我能够做这行做得好的话，是吧？那再指望一下去其他地方发展啊。听说美国是吧，这工资比加拿大是吧，这个 IT 行业是吧要高很多是吧？到时候再想嘛，就是说，毕竟现在自己比较差劲，所以先只想着保底再说，保了底之后啊，再看有没有一些更好的选择。
你是准备什么时候去加拿大呢？
我想的是今年啊，我现在在纠结因为我有朋友在那边嘛，他跟我说最好是因为我那个签证是吧，那都是十几年前的事了，所以就跟我说
你的签证，你说是那个是旅游签证吗？还是
我当年去的时候是学签，我是说现在的话，
不是？你是当年去加拿大学签
不是，我是去美国是学签，
啊？
然后我的朋友就建议我就是争取先去弄一个美国的旅游签嘛，然后再去弄加拿大旅游签，可能会是吧，就成功几率更高一点。
就是先直接办加拿大的学生签不好吗？
毕竟我之前去的是美国呀，然后这个跟加拿大虽然说都是发达国家，他的意思是说，是吧？你是吧？我当年是毕业了之后1年之内是回来的，所以我是吧？你懂了，那肯定是说是我再去美国应该是不难的，就是说去拿个美国的那个旅游签的话，有助于我再去拿加拿大的旅游签，能理解意思吧？
你如果是打算在这边的话，你先去了再说呗。机会是
肯定是
肯定有的。
肯定是要先去啊。
嗯。
但是就是说现在，对吧？本来之前都想着就是3月底就已经要申请学校了，但是后来说，朋友跟我说，是吧？最好还是申请旅游签过去，可能，对吧？因为我年纪比较大嘛，去读那个 college 的话倒读，对吧？这就是成功率就比较小，所以他就说还是旅游签过去比较保稳一点。像你现在多大了？大概多少？大概
我也不想回答这个问题。
那行，那我问你一句，你是90后？
打住了，不问这个问题了。
哦，OK，
我们积极一点。人来人往，你怎么都不说话呢？
我想 share 一个东西。之前说那个英语单词，我想提到一个东西有本书叫1368单词就够了，不知道有没有听过？
没听过。哎，你是陕甘宁那一片的吧？
我啊，
不
是，我是北方人，但是东部人。
哎，我听着你好像是陕西、甘肃或者宁夏那边口音。
不是， 华东地区，山东的。
感觉山东人不这么说话。好吧。
山东的还是怎么这个？因为当年学校里面有一些山东人比较多啊，什么青岛的，所以对他们说的话还是有点印象的。
山东地区可能每个地区的方言都不太一样。
那你是哪个地区的？
啊，这么 personal 的吗？
他俩是老乡了，
对呀，都老乡了是吧 ？share 一下嘛。
泰山了。
哦，离得不算远。我们家所有精力都在济南，现在泰山归济南了，是吧？
不是
济宁吧？
那个泰安是被不对。
对呀，泰安归济南了。
不是，应该是济宁，泰安没有。
好像归济南了，现在泰安区好像是。
不一样，泰安和济南是独立的。
是吗？哦，
是独立的。是莱芜归济南了，莱芜现在是莱芜区了，现在是。
莱芜归济南了。
反正济南是把旁边一个地级市给吃了的，这是。
对，把莱芜吃了。莱芜。就是刚才没说完，就是有个1368单词就够了。然后这本书的作者就是讲了一个口语的原则，就是说，你把一个枝干就说明白就行了，就是归一个类，比如说食物就是 food， 这个 food 可以代替这一类下的所有的词。然后比如说vertical 是个发动机，就是代表所有的车。还有什么 cosmetics 化妆品可以代表所有的化妆品，就这个理念我觉得非常棒，但是我没有看完这本书。
根据
你把书名在咱们聊天窗口里打一下吗
？1368个单词就够了，我打一下。
根据我们的实践了解，1368是很远远不够的。
口语是够的，口语是够的。
不是标题党都现在基本上都流行标题党，你知道吧？
因为像刚才说了是吧，最基本的3000，你这还少一些，13多少
？1368 ，You can try, yeah. Maybe I will try, yeah. 我去试试。
就是说，你拿这个去跟别人解释一些东西，一些简单东西是没问题。就像我们刚才，你可能如果你一直在听的话，你应该能够听到我们说的，就是说往专业的一些东西讲，是吧？稍微深入一点，你就感觉到词汇匮乏
基本上大部分的沟通能解决，但是专业词汇肯定是需要你长期的积累，比如说医学啊、计算机啊、金融啊词汇，这肯定
不光是那个，还有深度一点的不光是专业的，还有深入一点的。比如说我说个mechanic 是形容一个人的一种性格的，是吧？我在跟你谈论一个人的什么性格，我说个mechanic 你听不懂，你就没法继续了。请问一下，在这各位是这个单词，来我打出来 mechanic， 我是机缘巧合之下是吧，把这个单词背下来了。
对，
你们觉得你们哪位认识的？我相信背 GRE 的可能认识了，但是是吧？这个他就是描述一个人，就是说沉默寡言，就是说说的话就很少，但是说的很精简的这种性格你如果这个单词你不认识，那你听你懵逼了。然后你可以用那些
这个属于你的词汇量的问题，我觉得。
你可以就是说用那1368个单词能够大致的描述出你想说的东西，但是当这是你的输出，但是当别人说的一些比较高深，万一说到一些东西比较深入了深一点的一说出来，要是这个单词你不认识，那就
对的。其实这个1368个单词就够了，是解决口语流利度的问题，它并不是解决口语词汇量的问题。
就是说你1368就是大致知道你该说什么，你该
对，就把一些大类的范围直接概括出来，不去说一些具体的词汇，具体的某一专业的深度的一些用词，是这个意思，是解决流利度的问题，不是解决词汇量的问题。
骄傲。哎呀，刚才问你个问题你不肯回答，那行，我再问另外一个问题，你应该不会不拒绝。
我已经怕你了，你知道吧？
你有什么怕我的呀？你不回答，我又没说什么呀。我这个问题也绝对不涉及到隐私就是你的词汇量现在是多少呀？
就1万左右吧。
好多啊。
就是那个群里面不是经常就说就发那个什么测单词的东西吗？
我看也
测
对，我看也有人说他测试有1万2、1万3的，但他们说这基本上都没什么用的。
这个肯定是说一个大致的，不可能测那么准的，这大家都知道，只是说给你一个大概的范围而已。反正你测了没有？你测了多少？
那个东西我觉得不是很重要的，就是像长期在海外待的，你会有感觉，就是你的词汇量不一定高，但是你就是海外生活常用的那些词，你回到中国你会发现好多人其实不知道那些常用的词，或者是有一词多义的时候，你在国内学的那个意思，在国外它其实更常用的意思不是那个意思的，比如像 domestic， 对吧？这个所以其实你我想表达的意思就是说，你在海外长期生活，其实你的词汇量不一定很大，但是你就可以实现一个比较完美的交流跟别人。比如说你有个3000、5000的，就3000、5000词汇足够了，根本不会要用到12000那样的1万多的词汇的。反正你掌握了1万多的词汇里面，大概有个8000，我估计你都大概率都用不到的日常生活。
日常是基本上都 OK 的了。就是说我有时候比较喜欢看电影嘛，就是有时候就突然间这个电影里面就突然间蹦出来一个词就难住自己了。比如说我喜欢看一个那种一个叫战锤是吧40K 的一个类似于反正就类似于小说吧也好，或者一个游戏吧，它本身是个游戏啊。然后我喜欢看它里面故事，然后它有时候就说出一些，对吧？然后就是跟电影一样，都是突然间就冒出一个生单词卡住了，再突然间又冒出个生单词卡住了，然后就让人感觉到很，你知道，肯定是希望能够一次性把它听得很舒服，听得很完整，是吧？都知道它什么意思啊，那种感觉更舒服嘛，是吧？所以是吧？希望这次搞的他是这里的 boss， 所以我就想询问一下他词汇量是吧？是多少呀？然后
你们我发现比我厉害的人挺多的，你知道吧？在群里面，
这个的话肯定是吧？三位有三，这个不可能就指望自己是最牛逼，但是你肯定是已经是很牛逼了，是不是？
不算是。其他人都不怎么说话呢。Boris 也不说话，
我还想 share 一个关于英语学习的一个说法，就是有一个博主叫做 Tiny Fu 曾经提到一个叫不均衡学习法，他这个理念就是说，没必要做到所有的听声读写全部均衡，就是说就二语习得的一个理念就是你必须先做一些大量的输入，比如说你听读听和读是最重要的，其他的你可以先放放。如果说你非得要重视输出的话，你必须要大量的输入才会有真正的一些提高。他是这么讲的。
对对，我看他那个，他只在那个 YouTube 上好像有频道，然后呢，我看他都那个讲英语学习的都是几万粉丝了，但是我从来没听见他说英语，所以这有点很突兀的这种。
不是他主要是做程序员的嘛，他主要是用来是读文档的，他肯定是他的主业，他不是做这个说英语的。
不是，他是讲他学习英语的方法的。
对，他尼夫的英语学习之路，我曾经关注过一段时间。
对，可能他是之前在国内说写过很多年博客，可能是。
他是做 iOS 客户端的，对。
对，然后看样子也有一大批的追随者。
对，他现在主要做自媒体博主，做 YouTuber， 做啥了？他他也搞过深度学习，也搞过其他的那种各种编程语言。曾经跟大企业待过也。
那还是个技术大牛啊。
就曾经盛大的研究员还是盛大的。
就是写博客写的时间久，你看基本上，这些人，你发现没有？他就是有一大批的追随者，他到哪了，然后好多人就跟着他到哪了。
对，他的 Twitter， 他的 IP 已经打造成功了。
但是他视频在国内就没发过，还都是在 YouTube 上的。
他可能是受到语言论自由之类的。
有什么？
言论自由呀。
啊，这个可
技术
能
的啊，对，
这个不好说，反正是
对，
他们可能是在外面更好挣钱吧。
大牛在哪里都 OK，都会过得很好的。
嗯，不是他在那上面发视频是什么？还是
就是它会有一些广告的分成，肯定会。
嗯，对。
Alex，你说他在油管上说的是去写的东西是用中文还是英文的？
都是中文
啊，你可以搜一下，就是 Tiny Fool，就是 Tiny 是小，然后 Fool 是傻瓜。
哦，OK，Tiny Fool，Tiny Fool，OK，好吧，万一我出去了是吧？还可以看看别人的视频，学习一下，提高一下。听富还是 Tiny Fool？
打错了。
OK，正好是 OK，好的，谢谢。
没有关系。啊，
怎么
跑路了，有点困。
那行，那我们今天要不然先到这儿了。
有点晚了。
好的，先到这
行，那就大家都早点休息吧，要不啊？
拜拜。
好的，拜拜。
OK，拜拜，See you guys later。
拜拜。